You know, we're all using AI pretty much every day, but have you ever stopped to wonder who's actually teaching it how to think? Today, we're peeling back the curtain on the whole AI gig economy by taking a close look at one of its biggest players, Outlier AI. So what we're going to do is put the company's official promise head-to-head with what the freelancers actually doing the work have to say.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break it all down. First up, we'll set the scene and talk about the AI gig economy in general. Then we'll dive into Outlier's official pitch before getting into the nitty-gritty of the worker's eye view. We'll even check out the unofficial rulebook these workers have come up with to survive, and we'll wrap it all up by asking the big question: is this gig actually worth your time?
You know that feeling when an AI gives you an answer that's just surprisingly smart? Well, that's not magic. It's because it's been trained by this huge, and let's be honest, often invisible human workforce. That's where these people come in, the ones behind the platform.
So it begs the question, right? Who are these people? Well, they're freelance experts, writers, and coders scattered all over the globe. And they're the ones meticulously teaching AI, well, everything it knows. And platforms like Outlier, they're the middlemen, connecting all this talent to the big AI companies.
So according to Outlier's own website, their whole mission is to connect these experts with the top AI companies. These freelancers give the critical human feedback that makes those large language models, the LLMs, smarter and safer. They're basically the essential human part of the whole AI equation.
Okay, so how does a company like Outlier actually pitch this gig? Let's take a look at their official story. You know, the shiny, polished version you'd see on their website, the one designed to get the best people on board to help shape the future of AI.
And honestly, the promise they make is, well, it's pretty compelling. You get a flexible schedule, you can work from literally anywhere, you're part of a global community, and you're doing meaningful work. And on top of all that, you get reliable weekly payments. I mean, it really does sound like the perfect modern gig, right?
And then there's the big number. This one right here, up to $50 an hour. This is front and center in pretty much all their recruiting ads. And yeah, that's a powerful hook for any skilled professional looking for a new gig.
Okay, so getting started seems super simple. On paper, it's this easy 4-step process. Their own FAQ says it only takes about 30 to 90 minutes. You just create an account, prove you're you, pass a quick assessment, and boom, you're earning money.
And just to really seal the deal, they put out this statement saying they've built a platform based on reliability, transparency, and flexibility. So that's the official story they're putting out there. But what's it really like for the people on the inside?
All right, now let's flip the script. We're moving away from the official company line and diving straight into the ground truth. And this comes from the super candid, no-holds-barred discussions happening among freelancers on the Outlier AI subreddit.
And boom, right out of the gate, we hit a huge point of friction. This user brings up two things you see over and over again: this endless grind of unpaid assessments and a complete lack of transparency about, well, anything.
And check out this contrast. Remember that official 30 to 90-minute onboarding they talked about? Well, workers are saying that if you actually want to pass those assessments, you're looking at 4 to 8 hours of unpaid work just studying project documents.
So that up to $50 an hour rate? What's the real story there? Well, when you look at what people are actually reporting, you see a much wider and, frankly, lower range of pay. Sure, an advanced coder might hit that $50, but a generalist? They're looking at something closer to 15. And one language specialist from Latin America reported making just $7.50 an hour.
But it's not even just about the different rates. It's the instability that really gets people. I mean, this quote is just jaw-dropping. A user gets hired at a platinum rate of $55 an hour, and then bam, it gets slashed to $30 with zero explanation. And this wasn't a one-off thing. A lot of other people reported the same kind of sudden pay cuts.
And the frustrations go way beyond just the pay. Workers talk all the time about the dreaded empty queue. That's when there are no tasks available at all. They feel like they're kept in the dark about who the clients even are, and have this general feeling of being totally disposable. You've got sudden project cancellations, and even some pretty aggressive data collection policies that make people uneasy.
But here's the thing. Faced with all these challenges, the workers didn't just give up or complain. They adapted. They basically crowdsourced this unofficial survival guide, a rulebook for how to navigate the system. And that's what we're going to look at next.
And this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. To get through those tough unpaid assessments, the community advice is to literally read everything, use Ctrl+F to find keywords, go over the grading rubric with a fine-tooth comb, take super detailed notes, and have your notifications on all the time for updates.
It's a massive, self-directed training effort, and it's all on their own dime.
Now, it is important to point out that not everybody sees this as a huge problem. You've got some experienced gig workers who basically argue, hey, this is the name of the game. As this one user puts it, doing all that unpaid research to land a project, well, it just comes with the territory. It's kind of like an entrepreneur putting together a big pitch for a new client.
So where does that leave us? We've got two totally different stories about Outlier. On one hand, you have this polished, amazing opportunity. On the other, a pretty frustrating and chaotic reality. How do you even begin to weigh these two versions of the truth?
Let's just put them right next to each other and look. You've got the company's view, a flexible, innovative, and fair way to help shape the future of AI. Then you have the worker's view, a system that feels precarious, totally opaque, with inconsistent pay that is often way below what was advertised.
And this quote from a user, I think it just cuts right to the heart of the whole debate. These workers know that the data they're creating is absolutely crucial. I mean, these multi-billion-dollar AI products literally couldn't exist without them, and yet they feel like they see so little of the value they're creating. It's this massive disconnect between what they contribute and what they get back.
And all of this really leaves us with one final and I think really important question. This AI revolution, it's changing everything. But while we're celebrating all these incredible advances, we have to ask, what is the real human cost for the massive global workforce whose invisible labor is making it all happen? It's definitely something to think about the next time you chat with an AI.